Hi, cutie.
Say hi to Mom. Oh, stretch. You showing those teethers? Oh, that fourth one's coming in.
I thought so.
I think.
Oh, it looks like, yeah, I was like
It's hard
trying
to
to touch
tell.
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
We are on the way to a birthday party for a friend's kid.
Are we?
But first, we're on our way back home because I forgot the bottle. But we just left. Then we'll get the bottle. And then we're gonna get a birthday party.
Yeah. Yeah, I like you. Thank you. It's really expensive, but I waited. Oh, yeah!
It's just amazing. You just have two.
Oh, wait.
Okay, your boy mom.
Huh?
You get together for the holidays? All right, it is 9:30. Birthday party was good. There were a lot of children there. I think that they invited kids from his daycare, the child in question's daycare, but I also think it's a home daycare, and I think they all maybe know each other. I don't know. We didn't stay very long. We actually came early and left early because we needed to go around Quinn's nap time. But it was good to hang out, good for Quinn to see other kids and other people. I feel like just to tell us we're just being stupid, like they had just a bunch of like snack tray stuff, so like cut up strawberries and peppers and cheese curds and cucumber, grapes, like that kind of stuff. And I just like piled a bunch of random stuff on a plate, and then Quinn immediately tried grabbing a bunch of stuff off the plate and he really enjoyed chomping on a cucumber, like one of the little circle cucumber things, and then tasting like the peppers and the strawberries, and then later just he like put his mouth on it and then pull back, but like not bite. He just hum on pizza. So it's like, okay, maybe it's our fault for not offering, maybe not eating as much in front of him, or like the stuff that we eat in front of him a lot of the times are things that he can't really have, like chips and all that, like stuff like that. Not that we eat chips that often, but I'm thinking like when we eat quick stuff at home, it's like a sandwich and chips, that we can, like something that we can eat that won't get cold while we deal with him because he's so clingy. Yeah, so we're like, okay, so we're gonna rethink. We're gonna start trying to make more like Quinn friendly meals so we can actually be doing baby led weaning. We were joking like he's weaning himself, he's leading. And also it's like, does he also hate the high chair? Because like we don't use a table for us. That's part of the reason why we have a high chair for him. It's because we don't have a table. We don't have a dining room table. We have no tables in this house. We just eat on the couch, on the floor, wherever, which is funny because we usually eat upstairs where there's like no TV or anything like that. We have a TV down here. We have 2 TVs down here that you've seen in my other Vlogmases, that we only use them at night for like gaming and streaming. So, or like right now I'm watching other Vlogmases. We just don't like sitting at a table. Like, why sit at a table? We have comfier places to sit, is sort of how we feel. But we do, I think, plan on getting a table as he gets older, because one of the things my family did when I was growing up, and I assume Steve's family did too, but like something that I really enjoyed growing up was having like family sit together. It's hard to explain because it's like I don't really feel like it has to be like around a table or whatever, but also as he gets older, I don't want him to be, because like, okay, for example, like if he doesn't, when he is, you know, like a toddler or, you know, a kindergartner or something, and he doesn't want to sit at the table, he'll eat his food while sitting on the floor. Like, I don't need to have it be like, no, we have to sit at the table. But what I mean is I want us to share meals together as a family where we're all looking at each other, if that makes sense, for like spending time together. So like Steve and I, when we have lunches, for example, like we sit together and we talk, or we listen to a podcast, or when it's warmer, we sit in the garage and just, you know, enjoy the weather. Garage or yard, depending, you know, that kind of thing. So just like making meals of just a time to be together as a family, because I really enjoyed that myself growing up. You know, it's just nice. But after we got home, Quinn went down for his nap, and then I napped too, of course. And then after that, I took Quinn to the mall for like an hour. It was pretty late. He'd only been up for an hour, and he tried to fall asleep on the way there. I think it's because it's dark out. It gets dark so early. And then he was yawning, and his eyes were like pink the whole time. He's so tired. Like he gets like very pink under the eye, and like under his eyelids. Like instead of getting like, he does get dark circles, I guess, but like they're more pink. And yeah, so we just walked around, and then he played at Legacy Toys for a little bit. And then I got dinner, and then drove home and had to keep him awake on the way home, and then got him ready for bed. I was gonna give him a bath because he had napped until like 4:15, so theoretically he shouldn't have been tired until at least 8, but he was yawning and so tired and falling asleep, and he's falling asleep on the bottle. But of course, since I was putting him down, he still cried for a long time. So that was unfortunate. But now I'm down here, and I've been watching Vlogmases and catching up on YouTube, and I'm working on my knitting. So I don't know how I did it, but I did like mess up several rows. And so I did, like, when I did the meet and greet yesterday, I spent the entire, after the meet and greet, I just stayed there because the weather was so bad and I didn't want to leave. And it was a really scary drive home. I don't remember if I talk about it in any of my videos or any of my clips from yesterday, but in St. Paul, no one had put any, like there was no salt anywhere, no salt, no sand on any of the roads, which is so wild to me. Like I was on main roads in St. Paul, and it was really scary driving. And I grew up in Minnesota. I am a very bold driver, and I was like, oh, it was just pure ice. It just was awful. Like getting the scariest thing, like harrowing, getting onto turning from the left turn lane onto the highway. Like, I was the first car and I was going like 1 mile an hour, but you have to accelerate in order to turn. And trying to move, and my car is just like, oh, I'm just gonna angle toward the incoming traffic that's waiting. They weren't waiting, I had to turn green light or whatever. But it's like, if I was like a teenager or something, an inexperienced driver, I would have just slammed on my brakes, right? Because you think, like, if I slam on my brakes, I'm gonna stop, but that's not what happens on ice. You slam on your brakes, they lock, and then even if you have anti-lock brakes, that does nothing. You're just gonna slide into oncoming traffic, so you have to like tap the brakes, you have to like pump them in order to, like, I don't even know exactly what happens. It like gets the traction, so it's like you're going meh, 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 instead of just sliding into the row of cars. Oh my god, nightmare, so scary. But, and then the highway was slow too. It wasn't as bad, I don't think. I think it was more wet than slippery, but just be careful anyway. When I got into my city, which is the next, well, depending on how you look at it, the next or almost next city over, they had the salt trucks out, and it was great. It was not, great, but it also had a little bit more snow, so you had more traction with the snow, and then the salt trucks were out, so it was not a harrowing journey once I got into my city. But anyway, it was a much better today, even though it was cold today. It was like real feel of like, teens, but it was like 24 or 26 or something Fahrenheit. Driving to and from the mall wasn't a big deal today. I don't know why I started talking about that. Maybe I just remembered. But tomorrow is Monday, and it is Quinn's first day of 4 days a week daycare instead of 3 days a week. We're starting Monday through Thursday. One, again, because he's just so high needs, but two, it's hard to, is it hard to explain, or is it hard to understand? I don't think so, probably. But it's like having to split your attention for the beginning of the week. I just felt like it had been throwing off, I've been back to work since July, really throwing off my whole week. Because Mondays are like to get yourself set up for the week or whatever, and I feel like I would lose Mondays because even if Steve was watching him or if he was napping, it's like my brain is still constantly thinking about his needs and just being aware of him. It's like that weight mentally. So it's going to be really nice to have him in 4-day daycare, and we're going to switch, at least our plan is to switch him daycares once he's like old enough to move into a toddler room, so like at 16 months, with like August-ish, to this really, really awesome like outdoor daycare. Like, his daycare now is fine. I do like the women who work in the baby room, but I don't really like the way the staff sort of like approach talking to the kids, maybe dealing with conflict between kids. Like, I'm not saying they're bad, it's just like not our approach. And I really don't know how to explain it. It's a vibe thing. Also, just, they do have a little playground, and they are outside a decent amount, which is good. But at the outdoor daycare, they have like 2 acres of space. They have tons of things for the kids to do. It's all about like imagination, and they're outside all the time, and it's just a lot of play. It's just very play based. Not that the place now isn't play based, but they do have a lot of like people come in for like educational stuff or whatever. But like, for example, they had, like, I don't know, Peggy Pilgrim come in for Thanksgiving, and I just, just weird, like, stuff that I just, like, I'm not gonna yell at the ladies at the daycare for promoting weird, inappropriate, in 2023, in my opinion, Thanksgiving themes. Like, they do them, I understand they're just trying to have activities for kids, and like, people just perpetuate those things without thinking that hard about it. Whereas at this place, it's not about bringing activities to kids, making them sit down. They are encouraging them to sit still and pay attention and stuff like really training them for school age. And I just don't think that's necessary at that age. I also kind of felt that way when I worked in Montessori as well. Like, you don't have to make them sit like cross-legged and quiet for more than, for 30 minutes at a time. Like, I just feel like that's not necessary for toddlers. But anyway, I and then also the outdoor school literally has like when we asked like how do they do discipline, how do they deal with conflict, like they said they are like certified kindness, whatever, which to me, I think the way that program works is not that different from a sort of restorative approach, you know, repairing harm and all that kind of stuff. And I liked the people who worked there, and it's like a small program. It's also cheaper because you have to send food for the kids, which I have no problem with. Anyway, and the Ultra School is so cool. It's so cool. I want to go there. And yeah, it's cheaper. And they were like, you just pay a flat fee, and you can send them 1 day a week. You can send them 5 days a week. Doesn't matter. It's up to you. And that sounds really cool. And while I know that it can be hard to transition from one school to the other, just having to get to know new people and stuff, it's a good life experience. Anyway, I'm rambling. Point is, in like 8 months or something like that, our tuition's going to get cheaper, and he'll be going 5 days a week. Is my TLDR. So anyway, I'm going to get back to working on my sweater, which again, I had to tink back so much. Like, and it takes a lot longer tinking back brioche because of how the rows work. But even though I spent hours doing that, and I finally got it all correct now, so I can just cruise on it until it's the right length. I did learn, like, I know in the past when I had messed up brioche stitches, I could never make them. It's like that lyric that's like, once the paper's crumpled, it can never be perfect again. That's like how it feels. That verse, I couldn't figure out like how to. I really want to show what brioche looks like. Maybe I will, but I couldn't figure out how to get the right fibers to go the right direction in the past. And I feel like I learned a lot about brioche by doing this. I feel like I can read the stitches better, and so while I'm disappointed / annoyed that I'm not further, like, I like knitting brioche. It was really good to be able to pay really close attention to the stitches and sort of like, again, like, think about like, how does this stitch work? I'm still not 100% sure like how they actually work, like how they end up like kind of like crisscrossed through each other, but I feel like I fixed it in such a way that when I'm finished now, you won't see big errors. Like, I feel like you might have in the past. You may notice something is off but not know what it is in the past. But yeah, I'll show that. I'll try to show it. Oh, I just remembered some of the footage I took at the mall. Every year the mall holds some sort of like community giving back event or something like that, and so a bunch of different companies and whatever all contribute, and then they decorate like Christmas trees, and then it's like a silent auction, but it's raffles. I think you buy raffle tickets and then you put your name on those tickets. So I don't know how much they are each. Steve and I only actually went last year, and walked around and looked, and then I just took Quinn. Yeah, how pregnant was I? 6 months? Yeah, something like that. 6 or 7 months pregnant. But yeah, so it's cool. It's just like cute and fun, like that the various organizations and stuff like contribute stuff to decorate the trees. Like the eagle one was really cute for the eagle conservation thing or whatever. Like lots of, sports stuff, food places, other event centers, gymnastics was one of them, but it's just cute and fun. I just wanted to explain what the hell that was.